So as we look at the progress for day 5, most of the progress is out here on the lean-tos, on this side lean-to and the back lean-to. You can see here on the south side lean-to, you can see we've got the header. They've got the header across the top, and then they've got 3 roof rafters on this lean-to here. But most of their progress is in the back on the lean-to along the west side. So on this back lean-to, you can see, same here, they've got their header across the top of the post. The posts are cut off, you know, all the posts got cut off at the right level, the right height. And then they started putting up their roof rafters. So we have roof rafters all the way from the end, all the way out here to the corner. And this corner is going to be a hip roof. The roof is going to angle around the side here. So you've got your angled roof rafter there, and you know, it's just starting to turn and go that way with their rafters. So not much farther, you know, just from here to down there, and they'll have all the roof rafters up, and you know, they'll have should be the roof, you know, part should pretty much be framed. So they'll still have horizontal boards that they need to put across here and across some of these sides in here, and after that, getting pretty close to being able to put on some metal. So today is day 6 of the pole barn construction, so let's see what they got done today. So it looks like today they finished up all of the horizontal boards on the sides. So now we can see this bottom treated set of boards here. That's where our concrete floor is going to be. So you can see how much elevation change there is. This is how much backfill we have to bring in. So that's quite a bit of dirt to bring in here and level that out. And then we're going to have to bring dirt out this way, of course, too, outward from the barn quite a few feet. So it's going to be quite a bit of dirt that's going to have to be backfilled. Mostly what they worked on today ended up being on top of these lean-to roofs. So I'm probably going to have to throw some drone footage in here so we can get a better look at it. So on this very back, I'll say the west side, on the back of the barn, this lean-to roof, it looks like they've pretty much got it all wrapped up. It's all framed out, I think. So you can see we now have ceiling joists to attach the ceiling on here, and then we've got our horizontal boards that are on there to attach the metal to. So I think that lean-to there is completely framed out and ready to go. So we did have some more material show up today. So we've got several windows that have showed up. We got a few more on the other side. And then we got stacks of insulation. So these are 4x8 sheets of insulation. I think these are 1/2 inch thick. I think there's foil on each side of this. And this is what's going to go in between the wood and the metal on the outside. So there'll be a thin layer of insulation. That'll keep it from condensating. It'll also help make everything quieter. And you can see we've got another stack of it over here. So our 2 walk-in doors have showed up today. They've laid them down here tonight so that they don't blow over in the wind. But we're going to end up painting these so that they end up matching the pole barn, so they won't stay white. So now as I turned around here, I just noticed that the windows are framed out here on the north side of the building. There's 2 windows there in the garage, and then we've got another 2 windows framed out here on the workshop area. This is where the workshop will be. So there is a total of 9 windows that's going in the barn. So they've got 5 more to frame out. They got a frame for the doors, and then they've got a few nailers to put on that south roof. And then I think they're ready to finally start putting on insulation and metal. All right, it's day 7 of the pole barn build, and they got their first metal put on the building. So you guys are going to get to see what colors we picked out for the building. So we did end up picking out colors to match our house. So we're trying to make it go with the house as best as possible. So here we are on the inside of the building, and you can see the back of the foil insulation that they put on the walls. We've got this whole north wall is done, got the windows in it, and then they've got part of the west wall done. So here's the outside of the north wall, and you can see that we picked out black and brown as our colors. So the brown is the same color of the roof of our cabin, and then the black goes with the doors and windows on our cabin, or that kind of a black color. So it's looking pretty good from this side. So yeah, part of the metal went up on day 7. So how many more days will it take? So it's day number 7, and it looks like they've got the doors and the windows put on the south side of the building, and it looks like they've got most of the metal put on the south side as well. So here's where they got after day 9 of working, and they've got all the metal on the outside except for this section here, and then they're missing some trim around the corners and some other places. But while this insulation is still exposed, let's go ahead and take a quicker look. So this is just some 1/2 inch thick insulation that we're putting on under the metal, and they're using these plastic cap nails to hold it down. And you can see they've taped the corners, they've taped the seams, everything is taped to try to keep any air from leaking through. If any air leaks through to the metal, that can condensate and cause moisture to build up and your ceiling to drip or your walls to drip or whatever. It's really important, I think, if you're going to put insulation on there, you need to try to keep any of the air from being able to leak through and get into that cold metal on the outside. So you can see we got the black trim going around where the garage doors are going to be. And as we look on the inside of the barn, you can see the other side of the insulation, but you can tell we've got all the walls pretty much on. I think they are all on. What they're working on right now, they actually have a little bit of the insulation on the roof back there. So now they've started finally working on the roof, and they think in a couple days they'll have this all roofed and be complete. That's if the weather holds and they can get to it. So this hopefully will be done here in a couple more days. So right here, this is the room that we're gonna be able to butcher animals and process food in. We keep moving this bathroom around, and some people have commented that we're just making it harder on ourselves moving that bathroom farther away. So what I think we've decided to do now is, I think this keeps changing, I know. You're gonna come in this door. There might be a slight hallway right here, but we're gonna put in this area, we're gonna put our small half bathroom right there, but it'll enter to the workshop. The door from here to go in will be from the workshop, and then the rest of this space will be the butcher food processing area. So I think so what that'll do is bathroom will be there. We'll have a wash tub on the workshop side, and then on this side over here we'll have our stainless steel sink inside the butcher room, and that'll cause all of our plumbing just to be in this one area, and then I can take it out at an angle straight toward our water line and septic hookup. Well, it's day 10 of the pole barn build. We have had a few days of delays with rain, but they've got the front finished here. They've got roofing on the backside, and they've started putting the insulation on this lean-to here. So not much I can see from the ground, so I'm gonna go ahead and just throw a drone in the air, see what it looks like. So after several days of rain, the sun has finally come back out today. The builders have showed back up, and they have almost completely finished their portion of the barn. 98%. They are done with about 98% of their part. The barn looks complete now on the outside. So this is day 11. 11 working days, and they've pretty much finished building their portion of the barn. So let's go ahead and see what it looks like. So all the metal on the barn is complete except for a couple pieces of trim. There's a little bit of trim missing, but when you look at it, everything looks done. You won't even be able to tell where the trim's missing. So first thing we'll do, let's look under the porch here. So underneath on the underside of the porch, let me get out of the sun here. We've got a black ceiling, and it is a little bit of vented soffit in here. It's got some vents in there. Now it did sit out here in the rain. So while it sat out here in the rain, it got mud and everything on it. So it is dirty. It's gonna need washed off. So the builders did say they would come back and try to scrub that off of there, get that cleaned up. I may try to wash it off myself just to see how easy it comes off. But looks a little bad right now, but that is a black ceiling. And the underside of the porch here, everything's complete, looks good. So here we are on the south side. You can just barely see both of the roofs. The black roof that's on there, it looks a little dirty as well, the black roof sitting out here in the mud. Hopefully the rain will get that all washed off. It's just been so muddy. You will see that there's a little bit of mud on some of these metal panels, but hopefully that'll wash off in the rain. So here on the back side, this is our other open porch, which will be a covered area for the dogs. And of course it's metal ceiling, can't hardly see it probably, but it's got some dirt on it as well. Same stuff, vented. It's vented soffit. It's only actually vented in about a third of each piece. It's just right in the center where it's vented. So here we are from the west side. Everything here looks good. Everything looks complete. As you can see there, I don't know if you can tell, there is a little bit of dirt on some of the metal up there. Just gonna have to get washed off in the rain. I'd say give it a little bit of time. This will look a lot better. And then of course this north side, we've already looked at it. It looks about normal on this side because the grade here looks a lot better. As in down there, it looks like we're kind of a pole barn on stilts on that side. So let's go ahead, head inside the pole barn, take a quick look here. Now as we come in here, you start seeing all that reflective insulation all over the walls, and it is covering everything. It's the whole ceiling is covered with insulation. So everything has that real thin half-inch layer of insulation, except for right by the ridge. It stops about 2 inches from the ridge because that is a vintage ridge cap, and that's going to allow this attic space in here to be able to ventilate out the roof. Now right here, if you remember, there's a porch right here and there's a ceiling on that other side. We've closed this off from the porch ceiling, so this space is separated so that we can heat the garage and not have to worry about air going out over the porch. Now you're probably wondering, how does this, if we close that in, how does this little porch area ventilate? We know we got soffit on the bottom, but how does the air escape out the top? Well, they showed me, and it's really going to be hard to explain, but I'll try to explain it. So what we're talking about is this porch roof here. How does it ventilate and let the air pass through? Well, this little short wall that's right here between the two roofs, what they've done is they've put insulation, or not insulation, it's a ventilation material underneath that metal, and that ventilation material is under all that metal. It allows the air to pass through this porch area, up that wall, and up into the next roof. It's basically the same ventilation material, I believe, that they put under the ridge cap. It's kind of a filter material, but it allows the air to pass up through. So those porch areas will ventilate. So now that the metal is complete on the barn, I really wanted to come out here today. I wanted to try to get some cool drone shots and show the completed building. But on the 10th day, when I was flying the drone around, taking the footage, I ended up crashing it in one of these trees here, and it was a bad crash. It completely broke off one of the propeller arms off of my drone, so there's no drone footage that's going to be coming anytime soon. But this whole building right here, this actually cost me a lot more than what I thought it was going to cost me a year ago. So lumber prices went up, you know, because of COVID and all that stuff. There's a lumber shortage. So this ended up costing me about 30% more than what I thought it was going to cost me. So to get what we have done right here, what the builders have done, to get the structure up the way it is right now, was $48,000 for the barn so far. Now I still have the concrete contractor and a garage door contractor to pay to have it completely, the floor, and have the doors and completely dried in. And you know, the concrete contractor is the wild card. I've got a rough estimate of what it's going to cost me for the concrete, but not the backfill. There's going to be a lot of backfill here to bring this up to level. several truckloads to bring this up. So that's the wild card. I don't know how much that backfill is going to cost me. So that's what's going to be coming up next. I just need to see when the concrete guy can get here and start doing the dirt work. But I think that's it for today's video. The pole barn looks good so far. I just need a floor. I need a floor in here so I can finally start moving in my stuff. So I hope the weather holds. It's a beautiful day today. Hopefully the weather will hold where we can get this dirt work done and get this moving along. So I know a lot of you guys were asking about updates, and we've just had a bad week of rainy weather, and everything's really kind of pushed us back a little bit. But overall, I think even with delays, it's been about three weeks, and we've got this far. So pretty happy with it so far. So I'm looking forward to get these contractors done so I can really get in there and start doing my thing, start getting the electrical in there, start doing everything to the barn that I want to. So I think that's it for today's video, guys. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.